What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. For those of you new to the channel, my name is Vince. This is VW Fitness. Today we are doing a full day of eating. We are back home in Boise, Idaho at my parents' house. Let's cook up some breakfast. All right, breakfast is served. What we have here, the usual go-to breakfast. It never changes. 3/4 of a cup of egg whites, 2 slices of turkey bacon, 40 grams of oats with my chia and flaxseed, 1 tablespoon each. We have about 45 grams of raspberries. Then we use the Walden Farms maple syrup, 0 calorie. One other thing that we have added into kind of this week and last week is some greens, just kind of optimize some health. We are using the Cage Muscle Outlive 100. Apple cinnamon is kind of the go-to. So next up we have the Cage Muscle multivitamins, which I've been taking for the last few months, and then the Cage Muscle fish oil, which I am taking first thing in the morning rather than kind of later in the day. Big glass of water. We're gonna get this down. I'll put the total macros up on the screen now, and we're gonna head off to the gym here in about an hour, and then we'll come back, probably eat some more food. So one little note here, I figured I'd pop in here and kind of discuss this, is with my supplementation, I don't count these calories as calories. If you really want to get technical about it, yes, there are calories in this Outlive 100. Total calories is 50. So obviously there are calories in here. I don't personally track them. Again, I'm not like super down the rabbit hole or training for a show. I just don't need to be that concerned about 50 calories coming from something that's extremely nutritious, and it's gonna fuel my body through these workouts and the cycling. The other thing that I will typically not track is salsa. 2 tablespoons is 10 calories. For me personally, I probably put about 1.5 tablespoons on here, so it's 15 calories. Again, you can get very, very technical with it when you're tracking macros, but I think that part of it can get a little bit just monotonous. I think personally it can maybe drive you off track when you get that technical about literally 1 tablespoon of salsa or some greens, which are extremely healthy. The only supplement that I ever track is protein, because obviously those are macros that my body is using for recovery, for muscle growth, for overall health and wellness. And I think it's just overall important to track protein because, you know, we're trying to hit that daily protein goal. Oh, so one other thing. So we haven't done a weigh-in in a minute. For those of you that are new to the channel, we are on a 12-week cut right now, and we started at 210 pounds. Pretty crazy. That was about 10 weeks ago, or 11 weeks ago. We are on week 11 here with Brent, and our weigh-in this morning was 183.2. We've had a lot of fluctuations these last few days just because we're at home, we're seeing a lot of friends. We did a big hiking trip up into the central Idaho mountains, which was fantastic, but that was like a 12-mile hike. Eating there was like PB&Js, like camping style. So, you know, I didn't really track macros. I was just very kind of in my own mind with just doing whatever I needed to do to enjoy the trip with some friends. 183.2, things were leveling off. Yesterday, I really did clean up the diet. Breakfast was exactly what we had here. And then we basically just kind of had a big dinner, about 8 ounces of grilled chicken that I grilled myself, you know, a big salad and some asparagus. That was it. No dessert, none of the fun stuff. My parents had a big barbecue here, and they were eating ribeye. So, you know, sometimes you just have to be diligent and wise about your decisions with what you choose. In that case, grilled chicken, it was fantastic, came out great. I have a bunch of leftovers. I'm taking off Wednesday, and I have meal prep per se for the rest of the week. So I thought I'd give you a quick little update there. 183.2, not an all-time low weigh-in, but we are getting very, very close. All right, breakfast is complete. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. We're gonna let this digest, do a little bit of work, head off to the gym. We'll come back, we'll eat another meal. We'll see you guys here soon.
All right, guys, welcome back to another commentary. So today's workout was a little bit different. We went in rep ranges of 10, 10, 8, 8, 8. And on this one here, and all the shots, it is the last set. Now, as you can see here, my butt does not come off the pad. That is key here. You may notice that I'm not necessarily going all the way back. That's part of my hip mobility and just kind of issues there. But overall, great set there. Then we moved into a barbell squat. This is reps of 5. So with 2 warm-up sets, 3 sets of 5, really heavy. This is 245 pounds. as you can see, this is heavy for me. I have no spotter, and I am still getting just barely to that 90 degree. And if you see this, oh, my lower back right there. Luckily, I am belted up, and I'm trying to keep my chest up as best I can. Right there, you can see it. My lower back is pushing to get it up. That is one thing I think is really important about when you film yourself, is you're actually be able to see some of these kind of mistakes, quote unquote. Then we moved into a hack squat. We go back to another 2 sets of 10, 3 sets of 5. Very, very heavy here. 360 pounds for 5 reps. Again, as you can see, I'm going to just 90 degrees here, keeping that you can see that arch in my back, just keeping that form really nice and tight. Then we moved into a kneeling leg curl. I love this machine. I absolutely love this for hitting my hamstrings and glutes. This is a little bit different rep range. First 2 sets of 10 and then 3 sets of 8. Again, this is kind of the programming that Brent has us. It's a little bit of a mix-up from what we've been doing, which has actually been making it a little bit more exciting because obviously the exercises have been staying the same. This creates some diversity when it comes to the working out. But here again, focusing on just really squeezing and not doing too much jerking of the weight up. Then we moved into a classic leg extension. 4 sets of 15 here. I did gradually go up, and then at the very end here, you're going to see I'm going to hold for 10 seconds. Now, Brent specifically has a 10 seconds per leg, but I feel like if I'm doing double leg, I just want to hold immediately after, not have to let one leg get some extra rest. So you see here, I'm squeezing as hard as I possibly can. This is 135 for 15 reps and then a 10-second hold. You can see, ooh, lactic acid is burning. Now, this is kind of where things get interesting. I finish up with the hip abduction and hip abductor machines, 4 sets of 15 for both of these. I know that these machines are kind of funny. I don't know how else to put it, but it's just kind of a funny machine. I never used to hit this machine. I have problems with my hips, and especially being on the bike and in the saddle so much this last 10 days or so, my hips need to get worked, and I think this is a great machine to kind of isolate the hips, and you can see I'm just really focusing on the mind-muscle connection. I think that's really key. But overall, great workout. It felt really, really good, really, really strong. The belt, by the way, provided by Aesthetics. Stay tuned to the podcast. More information regarding Aesthetics coming soon. But that wrapped up our workout, guys. Hope you enjoyed the commentary.
All right, workout is complete. Leg day is done. That was a hell of a workout. Put in some serious weight. We brought 50 grams of protein here. It's the Isopure Vanilla Salted Caramel protein. We weighed this out. Just gonna add some water. This is kind of my usual. Actually, I don't usually drink this at the gym. I'll wait until I get home, but because it was a big leg day and I know my timing today is really gonna be important, I wanted to get this in now. So we're gonna actually drink this, go back inside, and then hit the sauna for probably 20 minutes. And then we're gonna head home, make some food, show you what we get. So good.
All right, so the next meal we're gonna do here is the classic, talked about this many a times on the channel, grilled chicken cheese quesadilla. We're gonna start by warming up our pan here, low, medium heat. Take a little bit of this butter spray here, spray our pan. Now we picked up these other kind of tortillas from Fred Meyer's, AKA Kroger, Ralph's, that kind of place. One tortilla is 70 calories, 3.5 grams of fat, 18 grams of carbs with 12 grams of fiber. So net carb is 6, which is fantastic. So we're gonna pull 2 of these out. One goes in the bottom there. And then unfortunately, they didn't have any fat-free cheddar cheese or any sort of fat-free cheese at the store. So we had to go with this reduced fat cheese, 5 grams of fat in a 1/4 cup. So we do have to be mindful of that a little bit. And one serving is 28 grams here. There we go. Okay, next thing we're gonna weigh out is our chicken. We picked this up at Costco. This is the just grilled chicken strips. Macros on here, 110 calories, 22 grams of protein, 0 carbs, and I'm not sure the fat. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be 2.5, 3 grams per serving. We're gonna do 4 ounces of chicken. And again, we're gonna weigh this out here. There we go, 4 ounces. Just gonna take that diced chicken, put it right in here. And then the only other thing I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna add a little bit of this salsa because my parents don't have any like buffalo sauce. They have some tapatio. We're
We're gonna do a little salsa just to add a little more flavor. Again, not gonna count these macros here. Don't think it's that big a deal. 1 tablespoon here. Just gonna kind of dice that in here, add a little bit of flavor, maybe a little bit more. Never have enough salsa. Okay, we're gonna take our other tortilla and put it right on top. Gonna give that a nice little press down and spin. We're gonna lower the heat just slightly because I can hear it. This is a gas stove, so it's gonna cook things a little bit quicker than my electric stove back home. All right, next up, again, I'm used to just eating the same things over and over again. It makes it really easy and simple when you're dieting. So we're gonna do about 80 grams of greens. So that's 83 grams of greens there, to be honest. I don't really care if I go a little bit over with the greens. We do have some raspberries. We are gonna weigh these out just to be a little bit more accurate here. Gonna go with 100 grams of raspberries. And there we go, 100 grams. And then again, don't have the Nona Pias. We did look at Costco the other day, but we have the Bertolli balsamic glaze. Macros on here, 30 calories, basically 7 grams of carbs. Zero out our scale here and go to milliliters. 15 milliliters is 1 serving. And there we go, 15 milliliters. The only other thing we're gonna add in here is we're gonna cut up a little bit of some cucumber. We'll set our salad over there. Perfect, here we go. We're gonna use about half the cucumber here, cut them in half. And then what I like to do, or what I kind of started doing, is I'll put these all in a bowl, these cucumbers, kind of mix them up, let them kind of get separated from each other. And because sodium is not a big deal for me, I'll add a little bit of salt. And because they have it, a little bit of tahini. Give this a nice little kind of stir with those together. And we'll let these kind of sit while the quesadilla continues to cook. All right, we're gonna turn the heat up a bit. We have a nice crispy crust here on the one side. We wanna get the other side nice and crispy. Okay, quesadilla is done. We're gonna pull this off. We're gonna slice this up. There we go. Okay, so macros for this. 474 calories total, 16 grams of fat, 58.9 grams of carbs, 49.5 grams of protein. So roughly about the same amount of protein as we had at breakfast. All right, so after breakfast, that protein shake, and now this meal here, we were down to only 41 grams of protein needed to hit our goal. We have 109 grams of carbs left and 23 grams of fat. So that will kind of save those towards the end of the day. We do have about 21 mile bike ride this afternoon. So we're gonna eat this. We gotta run some errands, but overall, this is my go-to meal. It's just very easy, very quick. You guys saw how quick that was. So if you guys wanna learn more, you guys can check out the link right up here, learn the full recipe of this and go from there. But aside from that, bon appetit. All right, guys, we are on to our final meal of the night. This is a new recipe. We're trying it out for the very first time here on the channel, right here, right now. We have preheated the oven to 400 degrees. Now, this would be a lot easier if we had the air fryer, which we do have back in Austin. Unfortunately, we do not have it here in Boise. So what we're gonna start off and do, we're gonna basically make a buffalo barbecue chicken pizza. Very similar to the quesadilla, but honestly, it's just an easy go-to. So I'm gonna use 2 tortillas rather than 1 to get a nice crispy crust is what we're going for, hopefully. So we're actually gonna use this Lodge cast iron skillet plate to kind of help bring everything together. We're gonna put our first tortilla down here. Now we were able to find some fat-free mozzarella cheese, which is gonna help us because obviously we don't have a ton of fat left over for tonight. Now, 1 serving is 45 grams. I'm gonna try to do 2 servings here. So I'm actually gonna do 70 grams. That looks like a good amount of cheese. And honestly, those macros are not gonna be too terribly bad. The other thing we're gonna use here is the G. Hughes Smokehouse Hickory Honey Smoked Barbecue Sauce. Again, macros on here, 10 calories, 0 fat, 2 grams of carbs. That's it in 2 tablespoons, which is 30 grams. So again, we're going to put this on here, tear this out, and then we're gonna lift it up, and we're basically going to sauce this. So that right there is 18 grams. We need another 12. This is the only problem with measuring like this is that you kind of have to guess and then you can over guess, and then it's kind of like, yeah, 26, 29, that's close enough. To take me back to my pizza making days, you take a spoon and you just kind of roll the bottom of the spoon out to all the edges of your pizza crust, okay? We can wipe off the excess there. I'm gonna take half of this cheese, we're gonna put it right on top. Now, next, what we're gonna do here is we're actually gonna take our second tortilla, and it's almost like basically a quesadilla, but it's pizza, okay? Same thing here, we're gonna tear this out. We're gonna do 30 grams of sauce on the top here. That's 28, 31. So it balanced itself out. Again, we're gonna spread this out. Gotta get those macros, you know? And then I'm gonna actually add some Tapatio. Again, we don't have the buffalo sauce, so to add a little bit of spice, just gonna add in some Tapatio on top. 0 calories here. We're gonna mix this around, get it nice Get our tortillas nice and sauced. We're gonna take the remaining cheese, spread that around all over our sauce, okay? Then the next thing is, so we grilled some chicken yesterday. We're gonna weigh out another 4 ounces here. Actually, I'm gonna do 6 ounces. So that's 7. I can afford those macros today, I know that. This is not cooked in any oil, it's just brined. A little bit of some light barbecue sauce, which again, very low calorie. All right, we're gonna chop this up and we're gonna add it onto our pizza here so that we get a piece of chicken in every bite. And I am absolutely starving. 21-mile ride today. I'm ready to eat, ready for some food. All right, and we are getting pretty full here. So what I'm gonna do is probably take just the little bits and pieces we got left and put those on the pizza. Now that thing is just full of chicken. I'm just gonna eat this plain. So good. All right, so here's our pre-cooked meal. Still waiting for the oven to preheat. Once it gets to 400, we'll pop it in there probably 10 to 15 minutes. We'll pop it out, we'll show you the finished product, and we'll get eaten. All right, so as you can see, we have taken the buffalo barbecue chicken pizza out of the oven. We're gonna turn the oven off actually. So I can see that the cheese is melted, the chicken is nice and hot, I can tell. And what I'm trying to do here is actually I'm gonna finish cooking this on the stovetop just to get a crispier crust on the bottom here. Again, if you were doing this in an air fryer, you probably wouldn't have to do this, but because we are not, see, I can tell it's just, it needs to be crisped up a bit. So we're gonna let that kind of cook on a medium-high heat, which on this stovetop, it's gonna get crispy real fast. All right, so it's been about 2 minutes, 3 minutes on the stovetop here in the oven at 400 degrees, 10 minutes of cook time there. Like I said, everything's pretty much ready to go. So what I'm gonna do here is I can smell it's definitely gonna be crispy. Pull that off, turn this off, give that a little taste test. Fantastic, okay? Now obviously, this is gonna be hot, so be very careful. We're gonna put this back in the oven where it belongs. All right, now we're gonna cut up this pizza. Let's give it the old cut up, cut up. You guys hear that? Fantastic. All right, let's give this a nice little taste test. It's probably gonna be a little bit hot. Fantastic. All right, so let's talk about the macros here. We'll put them up here on the screen now. Essentially 452 calories. So as you can see, all my meals roughly are right around between 400 and 500 calories. We try to keep it right there. We have 7.9 grams of fat, 41.8 grams of carb, and 78 grams of protein. Now, I have blasted through protein today. We are supposed to be hitting, I believe my target is about 190, yep. And we have gone over by 37 grams of protein. I'm not upset about it. I think it's a really good thing. Now, total calories left, we have 428 calories left, 15 grams of fat and 67 grams of carbs. Now, we probably will make one last little snack here right at the end of the night and we'll kind of finish off. But honestly, this is gonna be a pretty low calorie day. Like I said, I'm still resetting after a big weekend, long weekend. So we're gonna finish up this meal here, which is gonna be very satisfying. And then we'll go into our last meal of the day. All right, so we're gonna wrap up the video here. We are gonna finish off the night with a staple, a childhood favorite, a classic PB&J. We are using some 100% whole wheat bread. Macros on these, one slice is 100 calories, 1.5 grams of fat, 19 grams of carbs, and 4 grams of protein. So we got that here. We did use 2 tablespoons of the Schmucker's sugar-free raspberry preserves, 10 calories per serving, 20 calories total. Fantastic macros here for a good jelly. And then I don't typically use PB2, but this is a great way to introduce peanut butter, if you will, or peanut butter flavor into your smoothies, into obviously sandwiches, kind of very versatile product because it's a powder. You guys can take a look. So what you do is you actually take 2 tablespoons and you add 1 tablespoon of water, mix it up, and it gives you that nice creamy, yeah, right there, peanut butter. So that's gonna wrap up today's macros. Under 1,900 calories today, which is awesome. I'm just trying to stay kind of right around between 1,900 and 2,000 calories. Now, obviously, like I said, we went over protein pretty high. I'm not very upset about it because of all this high volume cardio that we're doing on top of, you know, the intense workouts. I think it's all gonna even itself out. And I've been doing this now for the last week and a half, and I haven't seen any adverse effects yet. And I haven't really blown up or gained a bunch of weight. If anything, I'm still losing weight and we're staying pretty damn balanced, which is awesome. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe and bell for notifications. And as always, we'll catch you guys in the next one. But first, I'm gonna finish eating this. It's just so good. Nothing else to say here. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys check out the podcast, available on all major podcast platforms. I appreciate you guys watching the video if you got this far. Sincerely, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. We'll see you guys in the next video. See you soon. Peace.